Welcome to another episode of One on One with Courtney Starks. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, Courtney.
You're welcome. You're welcome. How are you doing? How has your week been?
It's honestly been amazing. It's been full of auditions, so it's kind of been crazy, but that's the blessing and a curse, right? So
Yeah, right.
So I gotta every time I try to make plans with somebody, it's like an instant cancel because it's like, oh, work's gotta come first. So, but I'm really grateful for that. And I just been enjoying the days. It's been beautiful out here. How have you been? How's your week?
I feel like it flew by. You know what I mean? These days are just, and especially when you're busy, like you said, you blink and the month is over, right? And that's how I felt like August was. Like it was literally June and we're almost in September. And I feel like this entire week has just not slowed down. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to take in what I can, you know what I mean? But I'm excited to be here. We've been doing shows all week. So I'm excited to have you join in on the end of the season with us. I was told that you are residing in Vancouver, which is dope. So how is life over there? I know in the US right now, there's so much going on. So how is it over there?
There is still a lot going on over here, but I think for the most part, people are, really coming together. I think the weather has a big part to play in that too. I think just the vibe is right. And I think for a lot of people, it's hard to, more easy to kind of ignore kind of like what's going on and embrace each other and just feel the good energy and the good vibes while we can. So
as you should, right? As we all should, I heard, and this is so dope, even though you grew up in Canada, you are half Jamaican, which is amazing. That is dope.
I think so too.
So how was life like growing up in and having that half Jamaican descent? And how does that now play and cross over into your artistry?
Well, when I was growing up, it was actually kind of more difficult for me being half Jamaican, half Aboriginal, because, I didn't really fit perfectly into either side.
Yeah.
So I would say, growing up, I was a lot more reserved, a lot more shy and whatnot. But as I grew and embraced myself and my cultures and, kind of found strength and power in my root, I feel like that really played into how I move today because I'm a lot more of a spiritual person, I'm a lot more positive, I'm really just about taking everything that I am and everything that, both my kind of people stand for and being on that journey of love and light and learning. So
I love that. And growth and prosperity, right? Because all of that is attached to that. So let's talk about falling in love with art, falling in love with acting. When did that happen for you?
So for me, the moment that it happened was when I had done my first gig, which was Step Up All In.
Yes.
And that I had done without an agent. My friend just said, hey, there's these auditions going on downtown. You should just go. And all I saw on the thing was that you needed a resume and a headshot. Now, at this point, I don't know what these things are.
Right.
So I BS a really nice resume. And I show up with a pocket size, I printed from Walmart, a little selfie of me because I didn't know how big a headshot. I'm standing in this room with a tiny picture and all these people have these professional. I'm like, well, damn.
Right. What the heck what is going on in here?
I have my little paper clipped on the side, here you go. And no agent, no anything. I just showed up and I was just so fortunate to be cast in that movie out of all the dancers. And really when I had finished filming it was when it hit me because I was like, oh my God, I've never woken up at 5 a.m. and loved my life so much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had always asked my peers, what did you want to do in life? And they would always say something other than what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so for me, I always was looking for what's going to make me happy? What can I do to when I wake up every day no matter how tough the workload is, that like I fully have a smile on my face and I'm in
Yeah.
love and ready to do it. And that was the moment I was like, oh my God, like I can take my dancing and I can get paid to act like a fool. Sign me
Come
up.
on. Right. Right. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I can make money off of this.
Yeah.
Come on. Right.
Yeah. So like that's when it really clicked for me. I was like, wow, like I don't have to, go by the standards of what everybody else says is a safe choice. I can chase this dream because this feeling that I had was euphoric of just like, wow, I really love this. And like just watching it all happen, I was so intrigued, not just by the acting, but the camera, the lighting. And I had always been around those types of things through high school and stuff like that. I've always been involved, but I guess I didn't know how much of a hold it had on me
Yeah.
until that moment. And that's when I fell in love. And I'm like, I gotta be 10 toes down. I want to do this. And from on, even when I wasn't booking a role, even when I had only just gotten an agent, I had now started to introduce myself as, hi, I'm an actor and I do so and so on the side.
Oh, come on.
Because in
Come
my
on.
mind, I made that switch. Like I don't have to be booked right now, but I am an actor and I do like construction on the side. That's
Right.
how I always introduced and I manifest that and I just fell in love with it. So
Because you're speaking these things, and this is what I was literally getting ready to ask you. Like, what did you do? Right. A lot of times we get the role, we get this gig, we get booked for this, and then that finishes, and life has to keep going on. You don't always get another role right after. So then what, you know what I'm saying? So what happens, in the interim while you are waiting to get booked for something else? And I love that you said you don't stop being an actor. You don't stop introducing yourself as who you are, right? Who you're manifesting yourself to be. I do love that because a lot of times I was speaking to somebody yesterday about this, and one of the things that we were saying was who you are and who you manifest yourself to be allows the world to see you as such, right? And not just, well, I acted in some of these things and I do this. No, I am this, and I happen to do that on the side.
Exactly.
So let's talk about booking SkyMed. But first of all, I love medical shows. I just think that it enhances the doctor in me, because you're not going to tell me I can't perform surgery after watching ER. You know what I mean? It's just me. You know what I mean? For you, this show is so phenomenal because it's a medical drama, but it's also heavy on the drama. On the drama. So talk us through what SkyMed is about and your character, Captain Austin Bodie.
So SkyMed is about a team of pilots and nurses that are flying up in the very isolated north, helping people in out of situations and through situations. And it's really hard to get to these people because it's such an isolated place to be in the north, and weather plays a part. And when you're up in the air, like you can't perform the exact things that you can if you're, say, in an ambulance on the ground because of that. So the stakes are high. The stakes are high, and I guess literally high as well because we're up in the air. But so we're just this team, and you know what? Everybody's striving for different things, and what makes this show really spectacular is that a lot of these situations are based off of relatives of the writer as well.
Okay.
So it's really cool to see and meet some of these people that went through these situations. So SkyMed embraces all that medical loveliness that everybody craves. We're bringing it into the sky, and we're bringing you to different spots in Canada that you haven't seen before.
As
far as it goes for the team, what makes it so much drama is you have all these people living in one house. Because when you're on the job, it's just you're constantly on the job, right? You got a pager, and when it's time to go, it's time to go. And so it just makes it easier for everybody to live together. But that said, you're gonna have a lot of
personalities.
A lot of personalities clashing, a lot of drama, a lot of love, a lot of heartbreak, everything, And I would say it's definitely like a 1-part medical, 3-part drama.
And your character happens to be the one that everybody likes. He's a little cocky, you know what I mean, as such, because he's not like into this as far as like being born into this. He's adopted. His storyline is real heavy. When I think about spaces and places people got to go to get into character, for you, where did you have to go and where did you have to pull from to take on such a deep character?
You know, what I really had to do was pull from like I had just said, the fact that when I was younger, it was hard for me to feel like I could fit in because I was half Jamaican, half Aboriginal. And I took from that feeling of the unknown.
Yeah.
And I applied it to Bodhi's situation of him wanting to learn about who he is and feeling like there's an emptiness inside of him. And for him, that comes with wanting to learn more about his biological mother, of course. But where I had to kind of dive deep down into and kind of just let those feelings pour out of me. And that's what's really beautiful about this role for me. And I'm so grateful and so blessed for it, was because it actually gave me a chance to kind of dive back into, you know, those feelings that, you know, I guess as a grown man, I had not gone back and thought about those things, you know, and like, I guess maybe resolve them myself. So I really got to play out these feelings and resolve them while in character. Yeah, in character. So a lot of these scenes would actually really hit me deep because I would really feel it. It would be really real for me.
And how do you guys learn how to navigate all these things, being in air and doing all of this stuff? Did you have to learn how to fly a plane, or at least learn the functionalities of how this stuff works? How did that all come about?
Yeah, so we did aviation training. We got taken up in the sky. We got to talk to pilots and learn from pilots. Anytime that I had a scene involving being in the plane, in the cockpit, there was always a pilot on site, and he helped out through everything. He would literally like label every button, and all of us pilots would like stand there and literally like study us to a point where we knew literally what every button does. And they were really great on just being open to all the questions and wanting us to learn. And honestly, we really wanted to perfect that because, you know, it's a profession just like anything else. And I don't want any pilots looking at the screen being like, this is not real. Yeah. So we really took it upon ourselves to really dedicate, you know, time to memorizing these things to a point where I wasn't even thinking about the actions, you know. It was just completely natural. And that's what has sparked my interest in flying now. Like, I'm actively trying to get my small plane license. So I'm like with a couple pilots that because I just think it's so cool. And you know, a lot of these pilots that are medevacs as well are really unsung heroes. You don't really hear about them often, but they're really putting themselves in really dangerous situations to help people. And they're MacGyvering their way through situations where it doesn't always make sense what they're doing by the book, but they're doing what makes sense to keep that patient alive.
That's true.
And you know, and so shout out to those heroes and the nurses and that helped them. So
you were saying earlier about like having to pull from places to emote that energy, but for those of you who are aware with Winnipeg, it's freezing. So how do you contain or emote energy and you're like freezing your behind off in this weather trying to act out a scene where you got to cry or be emotion and show some sort of emotion and you can't feel your face?
Courtney, this is a serious problem.
Yes, it
really is. No, for real though, like it is like for me, when people say what's the hardest part about acting, I always say try not to act cold.
Right.
That's my thing. I'm not good with cold. So this was a real challenge for me. But honestly, I think what got me into it is that the writing is just so powerful. The scenes are so filled with emotion that, you know, I was able to, as soon as it's like action, I was able to like make that switch and like go right into character. Mind you, there was a few times, and I've said this a couple different times, but one specific time I remember it's 6 a.m. It's about -32. It's cold, and I'm supposed to have this like emotional scene. Bodhi's talking to Migwin, and I remember trying to emote, but I just like kind of bursted out laughing, and I'm like, I can't. And everyone was like, "What's wrong?" So I'm like, I literally can't move my face, like I'm trying to be sad and stuff. I could not move my face, so they gave me like pocket warmers to put on my cheeks.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like it was hilarious, but like so surreal. What a rude awakening. Like Winnipeg is like real cold.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful city. I
Mm-hmm.
can't.
But it also kind of speaks to what you're willing to do for your craft, right? Like sometimes you got to go into negative 30-degree weather to perform what you got to do it, right? Like
that's what they want. That's what we're gonna do. That's what
So one thing I read that is that you were born in Sudbury.
Yeah.
And the series is filmed in Northern Ontario and Manitoba, which is not too far off. So how was it like filming so close to where you were born and raised?
Honestly, it really intrigued me because I haven't really been back there since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I have family there, but I've been out in Vancouver for most of my life.
Yeah.
Being that close and meeting other people that are way just like me, and just them telling me stories and embracing me so much, really just made me want to go back home.
Yeah.
You know, and like just continue this journey that I've taken with Bodhi and learning more about myself. And it's a beautiful thing to be close to home, and now I have a lot of family. I know I have family over there, so I want to just meet me. So I'm trying to like go out there, you know, touch grass and say hey to everybody, and just get to know even more of my roots. Like it's a beautiful thing when you find family of all walks of life.
That is so true. Speaking about walks of life and things of that nature, what do you see yourself doing genre-wise as you kind of go into this journey of acting? What other roles do you want to be a part of and want to play as you dive in?
You know, I'm so open to so many different kinds of roles, only because I just love like the craft. I love the challenge. But I mean, if certain things on my radar, I would have to say like I would love to do stuff like comedies or actions. I think like a really cool like thriller movie, you know, one of those mind benders kind of thing. I always find that those have like such a unique like niche to how you have to play your characters to keep the audience guessing, so you don't give too much away. So like the challenge in those kind of movies as well.
Okay, movies where sometimes you gotta think, right? Like the answer may not always be right there. You gotta kind of dive into thought. I like that. I can also see you doing something like in what's the word? Like Marvel or DC. I can see that. I can see you being a superhero.
I wasn't gonna say it off the top, Courtney. I wasn't gonna say it off the top, you know, but you know, they need to cast me. I don't know what they're waiting for.
And if you could think about a superpower that you would want to have, or a character you would want to play, who would they be?
Ooh, a character who I'd want to play. Yeah, if I was in the superhero universe, it definitely have to be Marvel, but shout out to DC.
That was smooth. I like that.
But man, I don't really know. I'm so open to everything. What's Storm's son? I can't remember Storm's son. He runs.
Oh man, I don't remember.
He runs like super fast and like can throw spikes. I can't remember
his
name off the top, but yeah, I could literally be down to play any kind of character. And it's just kind of like the challenge of like taking on someone new, even a bad guy. I would love to play a bad guy. I think because it's just so not who I am. Like it's cool. You know, I want to play a bad guy. So
now that would be dope. I can definitely see that happening. So for you, you know, going into this world, this industry, has there been somebody in the industry that has said something to you to keep you motivated this entire time?
Yeah, actually, there are quite a few people, but if I was to say like my day one
Yeah.
would definitely be one of my best friend Trezor Mahoro. He's also an actor.
Mm-hmm.
He's on To All the Boys I Loved Before, Van Helsing, and he's really held me down since day one. Like
Yeah.
he gave me one thing that'll stick with me for the rest of my life. I remember I was on my way to one of my first auditions and I was late.
Mm.
And I was like, I'm panicking, right? So I
Right.
thought, do I even go? Like, do I just go home? And he's like, no, you walk in that door and you do what you got to do. And let me tell you, the best opportunities are going to come at the worst of times.
Yeah.
And that stuck with me because he's so right. And he's honestly championed me the entire way and just held my had my back the whole way, and like he's giving me the best advice and guiding me in how to do this. So
yeah. When thinking about giving advice, if you could have that conversation with your younger self now, knowing what you know now, what would you say to him?
I would say, if I was to give my younger self advice, I would just say, keep being you and remember why you're here.
I love that. Remember why you're here. That is so inspirational. I think a lot of people need that now, right? Just talking to themselves right now. Remember why you're here.
Yeah.
Remember your purpose. In regards to what anybody else has to say, remember your purpose and why you're here. It reminds me of the Lion King, right? When Mufasa says to Simba, remember who you are. It's it's so real. You know what I'm saying? What is next? How can we support you and how can we follow you?
Anybody can follow me. My handle is the same on everything. It's ATN. So it's AT Nadjiwon. My last name, Nadjiwon. That's my handle on everything. And what's next for me is I'm in the middle of talks for different kind of movies and shows. So I can't really say too much right now, but it's definitely gearing up and it's going to be another exciting year. And yeah, everybody can just tune in. I'm going to be trying to post some behind the scenes stuff of SkyMed, and I'm going to try and relate some of the behind the scenes to each episode so people can kind of see between it. Yeah, because we had a lot of fun on that set.
Yeah.
And actually I do a little bit of music as well. So I'm getting ready to release a little bit. I do like an R&B kind of thing.
Okay.
I'm about to release a little something.
Well, I definitely now am excited because I gotta hear it. I'm looking forward to being a part of everything you got going on. We are already following you over here. So we're excited. You're welcome. Everybody, please make sure you're showing some love to our friend over here, Ace Nadjiwon, and please make sure you check out SkyMed, which is streaming on Paramount Plus. Bro, we love you for joining us. Thank you so much. You are now part of the family. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Love this interview.
Anytime. You're welcome. Guys, this is One-on-One with Courtney Starks, the greatest show in digital atmosphere. I love you for watching. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time on One-on-One with Courtney Starks. Have a good one.